Assalamu alaikum everyone. Welcome back to Ramadan with the Sahaba. You're here with Bafreen. Today I'll share the story of one of the greatest companions of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the first person to believe in him and to enter Islam. This person was greater and dearer to the Prophet than anybody else in the entire world. I'm talking about none other than Khadija radiallahu anha, the Prophet's first wife. Today we'll learn the true meaning of wisdom and sensible decision making, because these are all qualities that Khadija possessed. Khadija's story starts off before Islam and before she met the Prophet. She was a powerful businesswoman who made a great name for herself. Khadija inherited her father's wealth and trading skills in a time in history where society was male-dominated. This was pre-Islam, and at that time it was very tough for a woman to rise among the ranks and to own a business. Upon her father's death, Khadija took over the business. Upon her father's death, Khadija took over the business and sold her goods, which means merchandise, through the main trade centers. At that time, that covered a vast amount of land and included Mecca, Syria, and Yemen. Now, these were dangerous trading routes that required brave souls to navigate through them. So Khadija hired the most trustworthy men of character to sell her merchandise. In order to sell her goods, Khadija made business deals. She allowed the men to take her merchandise and to sell them to people from different areas for a percentage of the profit. This meant that men would take some money and the rest would go to Khadija radiallahu anha. Clearly, Khadija was very intelligent and she knew how to manage a business. Khadija built an entire empire and business, which was larger than all of the Quraysh trades combined. Can you even imagine the scale of this? Remember that Quraysh controlled all of Mecca at the time and were a formidable group. But mashallah, she as an individual owned a larger business. Khadija earned a reputation of fair dealing and selling high quality goods, so of course people naturally wanted to trade with her. She had a keen eye and was highly intuitive, earning her the name Amirat Quraysh, Princess of Quraysh, and Al-Tahira, the Pure One, due to her stellar reputation. Doing business is hard work and requires immense wisdom. We live in a world nowadays where the focus is entirely on the West, but there are still some influential Muslims of high status. Can you think of any? Let me know after the video. Because Khadija was a great person in every right, many men wanted to marry her. However, she refused them, wanting to find the right person. However, that doesn't mean that there weren't many good men coming to her. Khadija never compromised her modesty or integrity to succeed in the male-dominated business, hiring only those that could meet her high standards. However, even with her careful selection of workers, some being extraordinarily trustworthy, she was never completely satisfied by them to choose as a husband. Then one day she heard about a man known as As-Sadiq al-Amin, the most trustworthy and the most honest. She spoke to Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, who would later become the Prophet, and hired him to do the business for her. Once the Prophet joined the trade, Khadija's wealth started increasing even more because Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam's honesty meant all the money was accounted for. After seeing firsthand how great of a man the Prophet was, with his excellent conduct, character, and superb business dealings, she wanted to marry the Prophet ﷺ. Khadija and the Prophet were happily married for 25 years. She had 6 children with the Prophet, 2 boys, Abdullah and Al-Qasim, both of whom sadly passed away, and 4 girls, Zainab, Ruqayya, Fatima, and Kulthum. Khadija radiallahu anha was a loving, caring, and supportive wife. When the Prophet ﷺ rushed home, terrified after being approached by Jibreel alayhi in the cave, he said, cover me to her. The Prophet relayed the story about what had happened. With her great wisdom, she replied, Allah will never let you down. You are honest, upright, look after the poor, look after the orphans, you maintain family ties, you have great qualities and help the distressed. You have no bad qualities. Allah will not let you down. Khadija was the Prophet's rock during this time of uncertainty. Her encouragement comforted his heart. Khadija was the first person ever to accept Islam. She always had faith in Allah and was rewarded for her piety. One day, Jibreel alayhi salam came down from the heavens with a revelation. He told Prophet Muhammad that Allah sends Khadija greetings, and so do I. Also tell her that Allah has prepared a home in paradise made of pearls. She was one of the women who is promised paradise. Once Muhammad became a prophet, they essentially started a new life full of blessings from Allah, but also hardships because of the way the Quraysh treated them in this time. The Prophet told Khadija that the time of sleep and comfort was over. Khadija rose to the challenge and she began inviting people into Islam. The first person she helped join Islam was her servant Zayd and her 4 daughters. Once Quraysh increased their persecution, the Muslims suffered many horrible experiences. Despite this, Khadija remained a firm believer in Allah and was as strong as a mountain. Khadija faced many personal challenges, including the death of her 2 sons and the death of one of her daughters. Through all of this, she remained patient and strong for Allah and, of course, her husband. Khadija radiallahu anha passed away 3 years before Hijrah, the migration of the Prophet and the companions from Mecca to Medina. This year was the 10th year of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam's prophethood and became known as the year of sadness. Even after her death, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam continued to honor the magnificent woman Khadija. He sent gifts to the friends of Khadija, leading Aisha radiallahu anha to say, "It seems like Khadija is the only woman on earth. You want to send gifts to her friends?" The Prophet ﷺ never reminded Aisha of the virtues and status of Khadija. Khadija was one of history's most remarkable women. Prophet Muhammad ﷺ once said that the 4 greatest women of mankind are Khadija bint Khuwailed, Fatima bint Muhammad, his youngest daughter, Maryam bint Imran, the Virgin Mary, and Asiya bint Muzahim, the wife of the Pharaoh. Khadija continued to inspire people to this day who revere her for taking great care of the Prophet of Islam and for showing the world through her behavior what a pious, modest, and courageous woman can accomplish. She serves as a brilliant inspiration for all of us, but particularly for young ladies like myself and you sitting here in front of me. She empowers us to aim high and to never settle for less. We can accomplish anything we set our sights on with faith in Allah and ourselves. So that's Khadija's story and the end of today's episode of Ramadan with the Sahaba. Make sure you tune in tomorrow for another episode. See you all later.